What is going on, everybody? Been a diehard Pistons fan since '03 and eager to see this team getting back to playing winning basketball. In today's video, we will be discussing all things Pistons preseason. We're going to go over the schedule. We're going to briefly glance back at last year's preseason to give us some insight in that regard. We're going to talk about expectations for the team during the preseason and just cover it all in today's video. So, to kick things off, let's talk about the schedule. The Pistons' first preseason game is going to be 22 days from the time of this recording. It will be on October 6th against the Milwaukee Bucks. That game will be broadcasted on ESPN, so it should be easy enough for us to all watch. Kind of crazy that one of our two national TV games is going to be a preseason game, but hey, it is what it is. So after that, we will be playing against the Phoenix Suns. That game will actually be played at the Breslin Center in East Lansing, of course, home of the Michigan State Spartans basketball team. I'm pretty sure Matt Ishbia, the owner of the Phoenix Suns, is probably the person who initiated that and set that up, considering that he is a Michigan State alumni. And then directly after that, we'll be going on the road out to Phoenix to play against the Suns again. Stay out on the West Coast, play against the Warriors before coming back east to wrap it up in Cleveland. So we do have 5 games on the preseason schedule. To my knowledge, we are the only team besides the Suns that will be having 5 preseason games. That game in East Lansing against the Suns was kind of a last-minute throw-in. Back in the day, NBA teams used to play 8 preseason games. Typically now it's 4, so we do get a little extra bonus game there for that game in East Lansing. So all of these games should be easy enough to watch or stream. I don't have any information on if the other 4 that are not the first game on ESPN will be on Bally Sports Detroit. Over the last, I don't know how many years, typically most of the preseason games are either broadcasted on Bally Sports Detroit or the second, I don't even know, Bally Sports Detroit 2, whatever it is. It's like 664 or 663-1 on DirecTV. You guys will be able to find the games. Sometimes, once in a blue moon, like one of the preseason games is not televised, but if you dig far enough on the internet, you should be able to find it. These games will be accessible. They should be easy enough for you all to view. So let's look back last year and glance at last year's preseason to give us a little bit of an idea on what to expect. Of course, new front office, new president, new coach. It's not going to be exactly the same, but it's a good reference point, especially since this is pretty typical and standard for most NBA teams as a whole. Last year, in the first preseason game, Cade Cunningham played 23 minutes, Jalen Duren played 15, Isaiah Stewart 24, and Ausar Thompson, as a rookie, played in 39 minutes, almost played the whole game in the first preseason game. The second game, Cade actually sat out. Ausar played 31 minutes, pretty heavy on the minutes for him. Killian played 26, Stu played 23. Game 3, Cade was back and played 22 minutes. Stewart played 22 minutes. Ausar played 22 minutes. Started to see pretty heavy minutes for some of the two-way guys like Stanley Amude, Jared Rhoden. And then in the last preseason game last year, Cade did play 23 minutes. Duren played 16. Ausar 25. Once again, pretty heavy on the minutes for the two-way guys. Even Simpson and Amude were all right there over 15 minutes. So realistically, we're probably going to see 15-man rotations or at least 12-man rotations throughout the preseason. But I would expect to see our main guys like Cade, Ausar, Tobias, Duren, etc. to probably be playing somewhere around 20 minutes a night. If you look at the opponents that we played last year, that is mostly what you can look at. For instance, we played against the Mavericks in the preseason last year. Kyrie played 27 minutes in that game. Played against the Thunder. Chet played in quite a few minutes that game. We played against the Suns as well last preseason. They were a little bit lighter on their star minutes. Booker, Beal, KD played about 12 to 15 minutes. So really, when we're looking at it and thinking about it, you can expect to see our main guys play, just not the standard typical minutes that you'll expect to see them play come regular season. It's definitely not like the NFL preseason where you can expect starters to sit out the entire game, maybe play one drive. It's a little bit more reality focused and reality based, more parallel to the regular season than those types of situations. Definitely expect to see them play everybody. I don't think that there's anyone right now with any nagging injuries or anything to be concerned of. Would definitely expect to see heavy minutes for guys that kind of are a question right now, like our rookies, Ron Holland, Bobby Klintman. Definitely expect to see them get pretty heavy minutes and be included in the rotation, even if they might not be come regular season. Same with Dennis Jenkins. I think he will get some opportunities in the preseason. We'll see a mix of everybody, and our star guys, main guys, probably will get somewhere around 20, 25 minutes most nights, if not a little less. Probably not much more. Should be fun to watch regardless. I'm so excited for the Pistons to get back to playing. Definitely will not be putting a lot of stock into the actual outcomes of these games, but I will be excited to see how it looks different just in general as far as flow of the offense, things like that. Now that JB Bickerstaff will be taking over as the head coach, be curious to see what role he uses Asar Thompson in the offense. If we start to see him as more of a screener, potentially put in the dunker spot, will be interesting to see who he uses as a ball handler when Cade is on the court, when Ivy's on the court, when they're both on the court, see if he sits them at the same time. If he does, who does he put in as the point guard to lead the offense? Is it Sasser? Is it somebody else? What is the starting lineup? Looking back at the last year's games to the preseason, the Pistons did use pretty similar starting lineups to what actually became to fruition once the regular season started. Looking at the last two preseason games of the year, the Pistons rolled out with the exact same lineup that they did use on opening night. So definitely going to get a lot of good intel here. Not something where if they lose the game or whatever it might be will phase me one way or the other, but good information to take away that will give us peeks into certain things like I just mentioned for the regular season. I think those are going to be the biggest takeaways. Who's in the starting lineup? What kind of roles might look a little bit different under the new coaching staff? Does the flow of the offense look different? Who's going to be the initiator? All of that type of stuff. Also, I know I mentioned it earlier, the rookies will probably get pretty heavy minutes. Looking back last year, Asar Thompson and Marcus Sasser were two of the guys who played the most minutes out of anybody last year for the Pistons in the preseason. Most nights, Marcus Sasser was up over 25 minutes. Some of the nights, like the first game of the preseason, Asar played 39 minutes. So definitely expect to see Ron Holland and Bobby Klintman getting extended opportunity in the preseason. Get a little bit of a feel on how they look and just kind of fit in with the rest of the roster and going up against actual NBA competition. We're only 22 days away now from the time of this recording. Can't go by any faster. I am dying to see the Pistons get back on the floor. Definitely looking forward to it. And we will be catching up with you all soon. We'll definitely be doing recaps and previews and all that type of stuff for these games. So hope it hurries up.